Hello everyone, welcome to the Dark 178 channel. And today today is the first day of a story time. Yes, story time. As in, I actually have stories because I just realized while I was doing a practice recording, that I actually do have stories I can tell you from memory. And today's first story is going to be my experience in the app called Amino, starting with one of the most current ones that I have. So, a few months ago, my home community, the Nikopara Amino, was disabled by Team Amino because agent and leader Zukinya, sorry, a bit stiffly, leader and, yes, I'm using her username. I'm not going to use her real name because I'm friends with her on Facebook, and honestly, I don't need anyone to, go and bash her, because she's my friend. Yes, surprising. The guy the anime otaku with the overlord-looking skin, has friends. Anyway, so as I was saying, Azukina was a leader that had recently got banned earlier this month for an apparent guidelines violation, which of course just isn't true. She didn't violate any rules. So let me recap. So let me tell you a little bit about Azukina. So Azukina had been the agent since 2018 or 2019, I can't really remember, but she became the agent and leader of the Nikopara Amino, and basically had to pick it up from the shambles that it was left by previous agent and leader, Cargo, who I'll explain more stories on later. I'll explain a bit later. So, tell story about a bit later, because I have plenty of stories with him. I'm probably going to unload at least 2 of the ones I remember, and yeah. So anyway, Azukina, who has been, worked really hard to, get the Amino out of the shambles it once was, because she had loved the community so much, and she had been part of the moderation team at one point. I actually don't remember when she was, but I do remember that. So, she was part of the moderation team at one point before she became the new agent and leader in Karg, and she was, after she was brought in, I think she was the one that reported Cargo finally for, power abuse, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so, yeah, So yeah, Azukina, she ended up rebuilding the community slowly and unbanning those who were, unrightfully banned, like me. Because I had been unrightfully banned due to some personal drama with another member. I'm actually not going to talk about her because I don't need her seeing this and then calling me out, because that particular member is indeed insane. In fact, I'll just, actually I'll probably tell you the story about her another time, but not in this video, because this is my first story time and I don't want it to get struck down or anything. So, Azukina, very loving girl, very nice. I have actually seen real pictures of her. She's very beautiful in real life. I feel a little bit weird saying that, but you know what? Again, she's my friend, so, it's whatever. If you're saying about a friend, you're cool. It's cool. Just she's very beautiful. Anyway, so, Azukina, she isn't the crazy girl. I'm gonna confuse everybody as I talk. I'll just stick with Azukina for now instead of talking about other stuff. So Azukina, the non-crazy amino member that I had encountered, rebuilded the thing, and I was actually the last person she unbanned because there were still some members who had. There's still a few of the member. There was a member in said community that still had this whole grudge against me because, you know, I ended up telling somebody to cop Cargo out and like say, hey, he's abusing his power at one point. So yeah. So Azuki now had been rebuilding the amino. It stayed that way for about 2 years or 3 years. And she had basically been building up slower and slow, bit by bit, not trying to rush anything, and she was trying to make the amino safe, redoing the Nikopara amino guidelines, because a lot of them were unfair, and she knew it, and she actually had to get rid of some people who, you know, she didn't think was right to be in moderation or in power at all. Just because, not because she had beef with them or anything, it was just because they had violated the rules at one point. So she goes in, she's rebuilding everything, and for the past 3 years she had been rebuilding everything, and it was all good. She's actually the one that made the amino safe for me. By the way, Azukina, if you are watching this, I want you to know I am very grateful that you worked so hard on the amino and that you actually helped make it safer for everyone, not just me. But, like, I really did appreciate you. I still appreciate you. I do think Team Amino had wrongfully banned you for what you actually wrongfully banned you and are being absolute idiots for not restoring your account when they could. Anyway, so yeah, so imagine this girl who had been spending the past 3 years repairing the damage already dealt to the amino by a previous leader who had just went too far, and because another leader and agent had just not done his job like he was supposed to. I forgot his name already, but I'm not going to talk about him anyway. But as I was saying, Azuki now had spent the past 3 years rebuilding the amino, and it was coming up upon the 4th year, which is this year, of, you know, trying to make it more. And we were getting a lot of new members too, like, believe it or not, we were getting a lot of new members. People are having just a lot of fun showing up and posting and just like sharing love for Nikopara, because after Nikopara Volume 4 had released numbers, the fandom reawoke, and we were about to hit our active online members. That was our usual cap of, I think it was like 20 or 50. There was a time where it was 50. And, you know, it was just going good. Well, one day, she is for some reason banned. You want to know the reasoning for it, guys? The pornography guidelines were broken, but here's the thing. All the photos that Azukina uploaded to the share folder actually followed the 50-50 rule. Had followed the 50-50 rule and was actually good. And none of it was like bad or anything. I think, and this is what I said, and I mean this, I think because I'm going to talk about that a little bit here and a little bit here too as well. But as I was saying, Azukina just gets unexplainably banned. no rhyme, no reason, no proof that anything she did was against pornography laws, and because they had banned the only leader and agent of the amino at the time, they did not, and I repeat, did not do what they were supposed to do, which is part of their rules, mind you, is ask somebody in moderation to take the role of leader, is to give somebody in moderation of the moderation team leader and agent status until a newly appointed one could be found by the community. Like, if the moderation team, if the amino was still I'm probably, if I could email Team Amino right now, which I probably might, I'd say like, yo, like, you know, Azuki-nya, I just tell him like, hey, Azuki-nya did not break the pornography rules. I was there. She did not break the 50-50 rule. All of them followed 50-50. They most likely were just fed up with the Nikopara amino because of all the drama that had happened there previously. But Azuki-nya had nothing to do with it. Like, she had nothing to do with the drama that happened previously. She was there trying to do her job, and it was stressful. Apparently, you know, a lot of people were still getting banned and stuff. That's because those people were legitimately breaking the rules. I could even tell you, a lot of them were still legitimately breaking the rules. But I guess because they didn't trust us after the previous whole, you know, corrupt leader thing happening, which is, again, I'll go into that story later. Yeah. Anyway, so Azuki-nya gets banned, unexpectedly. And I had been gone in the amino for like 4 or so days. Or maybe it was longer, I don't remember. I was like busy with taking care of my mom and stuff right at the time, so I wasn't able to be there. Because if I was, I could have gone to Amino and told them like, hey, you know, I could have taken the screenshots of the pictures she had uploaded, and I could go like, hey, these follow 50-50 rule. Like, you just banned someone for no reason. Like, I would have told them that, and I'm like, and if they had banned me for, you know, saying that, oh, their moderation teams are wrong, but the thing is, they always use bots. They never use, Amino always uses bots. They never use actual people, despite saying like, oh yeah, we have actual people on standby. No, they do not. They do not have anyone on standby for any of the communities, in case one of them needs a ban appeal. So yeah, there's that. And here's the thing. So Azuki-nya gets banned unexpectedly, comes back on an alternate account, says like, you know, she's trying to get her account back, but like if she can't get her account back in like the next 3 days, like it was a goodbye. Because, you know, she tried everything, she really did, and Amino is just not listening. Which, I have something to tell you guys. Tell you, Team, you know, if you're watching this, why? Why did you have to go and basically ruin a girl, the work one girl did, to try and make it better for everyone? All because your own rule, all because you didn't know how your own rules worked. Like, that's a serious question. Like, you didn't know how your own rules work. You don't know how your own rules work. You're actually worse than YouTube on that. Yes, YouTube, Amino is actually worse than you about your rules. About their rules. Like, they fully do not do what you do. In fact, YouTube, if I could make a suggestion, like, if you can get Google to, like, buy Amino from Team Amino and say, hey, you know, and let them know that, hey, they wrongfully banned someone and just ruined it for them, that would be awesome. In fact, I do hope Amino's dying, and to be honest, I think I'd rather have the people of YouTube be a bit more like, keep the Amino rules, but because I know you guys probably would, and like just take over amino from actual Team Amino, and just say like, you know, hey, the YT team is taking over. We're going to be making, like, you know, we just need you to change, because like you guys would be better than them at this point. Because TA is just really, really awful. Anyway, so that's that. So yeah, the moral of that story is, if you go on Amino, if you find Amino, don't install it. I'm gonna say that right now, don't install it. And if you do install it, just remember, you can get banned out of nowhere, no rhyme, no reason. They'll just say you're banned, and be done with it, never tell you what happened, tell you what you did, and just outright ban you. And, like, try to say you broke one of their rules when you really didn't. Now, the next story, ooh, this one is going to be a fun one. I could dedicate it to its own video, but you know what, I'm at 16 minutes, I don't want to fill up my computer with a bunch of clips, so I'm just going to say this. So my next story about Amino is about the previous leader of Nikapara Amino before Azuki now. The one they called Cargo. And yes, I'm using his username again because I don't really know anyone's real name on Amino except like 2 people. So like, there's this guy named Cargo who he was awful. Let's just say that. When I first met Cargo, it was in the main chat of Nikapara Amino made by Professor Vermilion. I'm gonna save Verm for another story of their own because honestly they're so awesome. How can I not talk about about them? And yeah, so there's that. And so Cargo, the previous leader of Amino before Azuki, I'm just gonna call him Cargo because you guys probably already get his title and what he did before then. He was this he was this guy that apparently had a way with girls, and literally got so many on that Amino app, like it was no joke on anything, which shows you just how the horniness of teenagers could go, because we were like all like 13 to 18 when Amino first started. Yeah. So, yeah, Cargo, I first met him in chat, and you know, he was a cool guy. He was like really cool guy. Really cool at first. And then they made the first mistake ever. After about a year or so, they were asking for a new moderation team, like more leaders and stuff. And of course, the leader at that time, who was also the agent, actually was so busy that he actually needed somebody to take the spot of agent and main leader of the Amino, so Cargo stepped forward, and of course, this was that leader's friend. I'm not going to say that leader's name because he already got enough flack for the things he did, so I'm not even going for what he did. I'm not even going to go into that. By the way, Cocoa Puff, if you're watching, dude, I really liked you, and to be honest, I was disappointed when I found out some of the things you did and were shown proof of. kind of hurt, dude. But you know what? You're still cool in my book. As you said, you were just not in the best mental state at the time, so there's that. I'm not gonna tell you what he did, but it was, RP or not, it was still wrong. So yeah. So I go in there, so like, you know, Cargo's like, yeah, so like, he decides to give Cargo a position of leader and agent, and that's when things went to hell. I had broken up with my first girlfriend ever, during the time, and she had left because of that, because there was just like, I didn't know how relationships worked at the time, because, you know, first girlfriend, you don't know what you're doing. I'm gonna tell you her name. Her name's Mary. I'll tell you a story about her in a separate video as well, because she deserves it, and to be honest, I would like her to watch this, and it's just like, because, like, if she saw this, I would, actually, I actually pray that she sees this, because, sees the videos on my channel, because I don't know why, but I just have, like, this sinking feeling that she's been watching me for quite some time in amino on different accounts, most likely, and wanted to make sure I was okay, because because she probably heard of something else that happened to me, and of course, regardless if I was depressed or not and she was ignoring me or not, you messed with me, Mary would not let you get away with it. Hey, look, I was about to say this looks like a cross. Mary would not let you get away with it. Like, she was, like, not having it. Like, she's like, was I an asshole? Yes, but, does she still care for me as a friend? Hell yeah. She's never gonna change that. I know that her, Elizabeth and Marai would never, not Elizabeth, Beth. Why did I call her Elizabeth? That is a different amino member I have met. For some reason, thought using her real name was a good idea. In her username. But I'm not talking about that person, because I don't really have any crazy stories about that person. But anyway, back to Cargo. So, like, Cargo, first girlfriend, it was after my first breakup with my girlfriend, and of course, like, you know, there's this girl, and of course, unfortunately, this girl, whose username was Rem, who RP'd, as Rem from ReZero, because, you know, ReZero was ticking off at the time. And, of course, said girl was, like, she basically saw me as an easy pickings kind of guy, who, just lost his first girlfriend, and knew that I would probably, wrap around her finger if she wanted me to, which I did. I did, and I'm telling you, I regret doing that. Let's just say trusting her was not my best idea. But you know what, screw it, it was something, okay? It was just something else. And I'm not gonna go too much into that story, because there's not really that much to tell, since that situation was swiftly taken care of. So, like, yeah, she had used me for laughs and giggles, and she knew I was broken. She knew, like, I was vulnerable, to the point where yeah, so, like, that happens, and then of course we do this whole 18+ roleplay thing. Yes, that's an actual thing. If you do not know what it is, I do not recommend doing it if you have not done that before. If you have never done erotic roleplay before, it's fun until somebody actually takes it too far, you know? Like, I'm not even gonna lie, some people took it way too far. So, like, yeah. It's like, this girl manipulates me, tries to tell me, like, you know, like, hey, the girl that broke up with me was stupid, everything, you know, and just basically being an alright nice girl, and then when, of course, I give her what she wants, and, it turns out there's a much cooler and better guy, you know what she goes and does? She accuses me of, RP rape. Yep, that's right. She declared RP rape on me. She tried to Me Too me even before Me Too was a thing. And I'm like, wait, that's not what happened. That is not what happened. And so, like, and of course, you know, Cargo, who liked to white knight for every girl that he came across in the amino. Because, I mean, I did the same thing too. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't, but I also didn't believe a girl when she told me, like, hey, someone raped me, when I didn't even know if that was true or not, or if I knew that person for a long time. And she was like, hey, you know, they RP raped me, and I'm like, wait, no, that's not what happened. You wanted me to do it. And yeah, so it was a mutual agreement. We were arguing back and forth, and then Cargo finally shut us both up and decided to mute Rim until we were done talking it out. And of course, me and him talked it out. And he actually discovers, thanks to screenshots from me and of course Verm, who I had to show because she was the other leader, and the one that I knew I could trust more than Cargo, because he was not shown that he was the brightest at that time. And he's like, oh, okay, so yeah, yeah, you did exactly what he said you were doing. So she gets banned, thankfully, because, you know, it's just like that. And so, like, yeah, that happens. But that's when things get even worse with him. So, I end up talking to this girl. We'll just call her Queen for now. Queen. Who is the crazy chick I'll tell you about some other time. Again, another video for herself. That'll be dedicated to her. And so, like, I was talking to this girl, Queen. I didn't really know her all that well. You know, I wasn't really looking for a girlfriend at the time. I had just always thought when she asked to be a girlfriend, it was just an RP thing, and I'm like, you know, sure. Because, you know, I was like, oh, she must be multi-ship because I see that she's taken by someone else right now. Or she doesn't change her bio, one of the two. And so, like, she was taken by someone else. I already knew that. And then, we come across Cargo. Of course, Cargo waltzes in. And he asked me, so, like, you know, like, are you truly interested in this girl? And I'm like, I'm not sure. I literally just met her. I don't know her all that well. We only been talking for, like, a little while, and so, like, that's it. And, of course, like, she agreed that, you know, like, maybe we should get to know each other for a little bit first, and I loved it. I loved every last bit of it, and it was just, like, me and her bonded. But Cargo was not having that. He wanted every girl in that amino. Like, literally, every girl. Every female friend I had there's, like, one of them, I'm not going to say her username because I think that's her real name anyway. We're going to call her, Uni. We'll call her Uni. Short for unicorn, by the way, if you didn't know. So Uni, was talking to me, who I've been talking to for a while, and who seemed to, like, you know, want to be interested in, like, talking to me a little bit more and getting to know me better, and that was fun. I had a blast with her. Me and her hung out a lot. If she was still an amino, me and her would probably hang out even more, because I really loved hanging out with her, getting to know her and whatnot. So, like, we're there, we're just enjoying the heck out of it, and it's just like, but then one day she stops talking to me because, surprise, surprise, Cargo had added her to his RP harem because he had a lot of girls there. And basically he told her, you know, not to talk to me because, you know, he was, like, really controlling. But, of course, she didn't listen because she was only there because her friend Luo had got sucked into the same thing. I probably shouldn't say her username. But, oops. I'm not gonna go into any more detail about her, ever. Like that girl had enough problems to deal with, and, you know, she was a cool girl. And she's a cool girl. So anyway, I went, and, so yeah, it was just, like, Marie, so, like, Uni, her friend, and, her friend's boyfriend, who at the time was actually not the greatest guy until I talked to him, like said like, you know, hey, you kind of betrayed the girl that you said you love. You can't just go around and do this. I know how it feels. I know how she feels because I saw it firsthand when I did it to my first girlfriend, so yeah. Which, I'll talk about that, like I said, another one. And so, like, so, like, yeah, it was, it was just sort of like, you know, he was making a harem and collecting all these girls. However, Uni was only there for her friend. She didn't really care about anything Cargo said. In fact, she continued talking to me after being able to, like, get away from him for a little while. And then the coup de grace comes. That's right. The biggest coup de grace comes ever. He reveals the next day he has a girlfriend that's RP-wise and in real life. I don't remember her username, so we're gonna call her, Magneta. Magneta. Yeah, we'll call her Magneta. And she was actually known as the amino, businesswoman. Let's go with that. Businesswoman. And no, I do not mean like CEO. I mean like, businesswoman of the night kind of stuff. As like, she was there, you know, being his girlfriend and stuff, but she immediately took an interest in me the moment she saw me. And so, just like, and talked to her, and at first when I talked to her, it was just like really weird. Because one, it's like, this is my friend's girlfriend, or at least the guy who I thought was my friend's girlfriend. And she's trying to flirt with me and trying to get me to do some 18 plus RP with her. I mean, her OC is attractive and stuff, but I don't take another man's girl. But like, so like, you know, I reject her a few times. She just says whatever. She goes to Cargo. She tries to say like, you know, I flirted with her first and everything. And I'm like, no, I didn't. And of course I show him the screen. And of course, I said, look, I can get Verm on it. He's like, no, don't do that. Verm is like not even online right now, so we're not gonna involve them on it. And so like Verm is like out, so some of the others, because they kind of knew what this guy was up to, and they were like trying to figure out a way to catch him without. So he had to kind of like let him slip himself up. And so after that, I got to the chance to like. It's like after that incident, I'm like, oh, okay, so, you know, now she's backed off, maybe she won't approach me again, and, you know, maybe there's not going to be drama with me and Cargo after all. I was completely wrong. What is about the no drama Cargo part, and of course, so, like I said, the, girl who, like I said, we're just calling, Queen, yeah, we're going to just call her Queen. White Queen, yeah, we're calling her White Queen, you know, like the Data Bullet, Kurumi. Or Kurumi's Data Bullet, inverse form. So, like, yeah, it's like White Queen's there, and she's like, arguing and trying to like say like, you know, and she of course had this whole Nikopara master Nico thing with Verm, but like it wasn't anything sexual. The two of them were just really good friends, and Verm took care, like always took care of her. I was more than happy to help her out with anything she needed, and that sort of thing. So it was awesome. It was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. So, like, I'm just there, minding my own business, and then I come into the chat like usual, you know, because I'm there to talk with some of my friends, and, like, some of the people, mainly my friend Amy, who is there, Which Amy was a very nice girl. I don't know why they banned her, but she was a nice girl. Yeah, she cheated on her boyfriend quite a bit in another amino, but cheated on her boyfriend in the amino quite a bit. But you know what? I didn't really mind. She was cool to me. She was awesome, and I liked her. I liked her a lot. So yeah, Amy was there, and so was everyone else. So after that, yes, I got to that after things went down there. It's just like, it's like she's arguing, and then she leaves the chat. She leaves the chat because, you know, she's fed up with all these people lying and saying all these different things about her, and it was just like, and of course a lot of them were like not cool things about her too. And so it was just like, I understood why she didn't want to talk about it. She was tired of listening. They were just like, you know what, you guys don't want to listen to me, I'm out. So she leaves. Cargo's girlfriend and head of his harem was just cheering and stuff. And of course it wasn't about that, so of course the girl, because she was also the same girl that was trying to seduce me before, I was just like, see, this just confirmed to me, like, that girl was not good news. I say it. So I go talk to the White Queen, me and her chat it out, and then, you know, we kind of start getting closer, and I start to fall for her, right? But Cargo comes in, because when I told her, like, you know, I'm not really comfortable, you know, to do a relationship right now, because, you know, I've just gotten out of one, I don't want to rush into one too quickly. And she said, like, you know, she got it, but she was, like, really lonely and didn't have many people, and she said it could just be RP for now, and when I was, like, ready for the actual real-life thing, we could do that, but, like, and so I'm like, okay. Seeing her, stay RP lovers, and actually get closer to each other, in reality. But Cargo says some things about me that weren't necessarily true, such as, you know, like, oh yeah, you shouldn't trust him, he, cheated on his girlfriend in the past. Okay, actually, that part was true. During one of my first girlfriends, I did cheat on her by accident, because, like, I was stupid, and, you know, again, I thought, because sometimes you can get too into the roleplay, and so I was, like, too into this roleplay with another member named, we're gonna call her Curry. We're gonna call her Curry. So, like, Curry, so he, like, mentions Curry, and that, you know, me and her had a thing, and then, of course, it's just like, okay, yeah, it was a one-time thing, and the moment I realized what I did, I regretted it, and once I got the second chance, I didn't blow that second chance, until me and her, like, started drifting apart, and, you know, I started to have anxiety attacks, because, like, it wasn't because of the relationship, not just because I didn't know how relationships work, but I didn't know I had really bad anxiety at the time. So yeah, I might have to tell Mary that. Like I'm gonna tell Vern, like, if, you know, you ever pop, like, if Mary ever pops up again, like, tell her, like, you know, that it was mainly anxiety that I didn't even know I had that caused the problems between me and her, and like, I've changed from that. Like, if I could see her and she wasn't with someone right now, I would probably go back to Mary, because, let's face it, that girl just, she knew me a lot better than, like, anyone else did. And yes, that is a compliment. So anyway, back to the whole Cargo thing. So, like, Cargo says, like, oh yeah, he cheated and stuff. It's just like, no, I did not. I did not do. I'm like, I didn't do that this time. And of course, you know, White Queen actually was, and then of course, White Queen began to doubt me a little. Like, wait a minute, you've cheated before. I explained to her the whole Curry situation, like what happened back then. She was not happy, obviously, to learn that I did not bring that up, ever. Because, like, you know, it was kind of in the past, and, you know, I wasn't getting back with Mary anytime soon, so I didn't see a point in, saying anything about it. And yeah. Yeah, I was, an idiot. That was an idiot. So yeah, so that happened, and then of course, and then suddenly like his lead of the harem just like gets onto Cargo and say like, oh yeah, he did it, but come on, give him a break. And that told Cargo like he didn't really have full control of her, like he thought he did, but he didn't. But he also didn't argue with her about it. He's like, you know what, if you say it's fine, like it's all in the past, fine. But it's just like I still wouldn't trust him. And so like yeah, White Queen did not trust me for a little while. Until of course Cargo decided, hey, my best friend needed a girlfriend, and honestly, this White Queen wouldn't take him because she knew he was a bit of a playboy, and she wasn't into that, like, at all. She wanted someone who wouldn't just do an RP relationship with her, but a real life relationship later down the line when she was ready for it. And he was like, yeah, whatever. And of course, like, one, never tell a girl that, ever. Don't go like, yeah, whatever. And so, he does that, and things get even crazier. I didn't even know how he made them crazier. He just, like, makes the things worse. He, like, made everything worse. And so, like, we're just chilling and vibing, you know, like that sort of stuff. Like, we're chilling, we're vibing, we're all just getting along in the regular chat. And then he private chats me and says, like, okay, we need to talk, you and I. And of course, like, we talk about the White Queen's like, you know, I want to hook her up with one of my friends. He's lonely, he needs a girlfriend, you honestly aren't ready for one, so, you know, like, let me take this one. Because, like, I can't have her, at least I'm going to let my friend have her, and it's just like, dude? I was like, dude? I don't really care. Like, I did not really care what he wanted, like, at all. Like, he wanted to... The other was just like, oh yeah, I'm fine with it. It's just like, me and her aren't really anything serious right now. And then, of course, that's when it hits me, is just like, once she goes to his friend, it's like, his friend tries to, like, ask her out and everything. Because, you know, but of course, you know, you don't ask a girl to date you. You just met to date you automatically, and he was, like, into that. And he decided, like, let's do that, and he, they both admitted it was very uncomfortable for both of them. Like, he didn't like it, she didn't like it, and yeah. So... yeah, and so things go downhill from there with him. And that's when I realized, like, you know, I need to beat, like, in case she does consider this guy, I need to beat him to her. Because, like, at that point, I'm like, wait a minute, I actually have feelings for this girl, like, real life feelings, and she has them for me. It's like, I go and tell her, like, you know what, I take back everything I've said before, I do have real feelings for you. I shouldn't have, it actually took somebody almost taking you away from me to realize, like, you know, I really do want to be with you. And so, like, she agrees. And so me and her just, like, start dating. Of course, Mary, not happy about this. I mean, I guess she was my ex and everything, but, she had just come back suddenly, and she was actually a little pissed off that the girl who had the most terrible reputation, which again I'll go into in another video, was the girl I picked, and she basically told me that I'm going to get burned because now I ended up igniting a fire that was just going to lead to disaster for not just me, but for everyone in the amino, and she wasn't sticking around, and she wasn't just going to... And instead of helping anyone, she was going to stand by and watch things burn, because she knew that's where it was heading already. At first I didn't believe her until, of course, I saw what Cargo was willing to do, and so, like, if Cargo finally loses it, and, you know, decides, like, okay, look, if you're going to be dating her, I only have one rule. You don't break her heart. If you break her heart, I will ban you. And so, yeah. And, of course, after me and her get into an argument, it was just our first argument, he already thinks, like, you know, I did something to deserve it, and and immediately bans me. And I'm banned for entire 6 months until, along with a bunch of others, because I make an alternate account named Kiana, like, see what happened, what was up, what happened, and that's when it hits me. That's when it hit me, right there. That's when it hit me, that's when I realized that Cargo was abusing his power and taking joy in it. And anyone who disagreed with him, anyone. Because a lot of people, when I got banned, actually got legitimately mad at the guy, like, dude. He literally, because I had told him, like, if I ever do something bad, ban me, because I don't really want, because that's just how it is. How it's gonna have to be. He's like, okay. I was like, I don't want to ban you, and it's just like, what he didn't know is I was young. But when I finally convinced him, he's like, fine, I will. He's like, look, if you break my heart, I'll ban you. But other than that, no. And that's kind of where he started to slip up. He banned me, like he said he was going to. But like I said, me and her were just in an argument. It was my and White Queen's first argument ever in our relationship. And he decided, you know what? I'm fed up with this guy. I'm banning him. No more. And I go and want to see his face. And when that happened, a lot of people got upset with him and actually started getting banned themselves. Because I think Uni said she was the first one to go. Because, like, she stood up for me. And of course, Satana, using her username, actually said the same thing to Cargo, like, up front, like, I don't approve of the banning you did. It's like, he's actually a genuinely nice guy, and he was very nice to me. He accepted me for who I was. And that's true. It happened. And so I'm just like... And so when I get invited by my friend Satana to join her community as well, as to other people who had gotten banned, plus Cargo, because at first she didn't think he was doing it out of malicious intent. He, like, just did something really stupid, and of course, he was good manipulating people, saying, like, oh yeah, it was just me being stupid, haha, but I'm not gonna unban him because, I'm just... Instead, like, I'm not gonna unban him because, like, this whole mutiny gets me started because a bunch of people didn't agree with me on what I decided to do. And so yeah, he got banned. So he got a lot of people banned, and he even banned his own girlfriend at this rate. But of course, his own girlfriend, like I said, I have a story about her. And so like, the two, and so like he's fed up with me, he's done with me, he has a bunch of beef with me even now. Even after then, he still had a bunch of beef with me, still wanted to start fights with me whenever he could. Just because he didn't like me. And I'm like, you know what? Screw you too, dude. And so I backed away. And so, like, I stayed in my White Queen's amino at the time, and she was my girlfriend at the time as well as Satana's, because, like, I wanted a place to hang out with my friends. And White Queen was very... adamant that my friends were no. But again, I'll go into that story another time. And so as the days and months go by, days turns into months, days turns into weeks, weeks turns into months, and then finally, all of a sudden I'm unbanned by Vermilion because a friend of hers, Coco Puff, as I mentioned him before, actually banned her and finally realized that, Cargo went kind of crazy with power. And so he brought me in and did a trial, and I gave him everything I showed him, and Verm gave him everything I showed them, and we were able to prove that he was indeed abusing his power as leader, so they stripped him of his leader title, gave him a 3-strike, the whole 3 strikes thing, made him a curator, and then of course he started flagging people's posts and hiding my posts despite them following guidelines and, like, not liking me at all. Well, after those 3 strikes and him picking fights as usual, he gets banned. Like, we're not joking. He gets banned. He gets reported. Someone reports him to Team Amino, and he finally gets banned. Nobody sees him ever again after that. And then, like, last year, after my breakup with, like, just, I think it's like a year after my breakup with White Queen, he comes back, and he actually asks everyone, like, you know, could you ever forgive me? I'm like, you know what, I can try, but honestly, I'm not going to be friends with you. Look, I'm not going to be friends, like, I'm not going to trust you right now. We can be friends again eventually, but for right now, I just don't trust you, and I'm not going to take the chance of you, like, making untrue accusations about me. Unfortunately, Azukina, seeing that cargo had returned somehow, and of course, she knew that he might try to start drama with me again, she immediately banned him again. And that was the end of that. We never saw him again after that. None of my friends and I saw him again after that. And to be honest, I'm pretty good with that. And I guess the point of that story is, like, be careful who you trust, guys. Be careful who says you're friends, because in the end, you do not know who will be your fake friend. Who's a friend and who's just going to be a fake friend. So yeah, that'll do it for this story. Well, I do have one more story time that I want to talk about. Which, this one is a little more, this last amino story I have is just sad, is a little sad. And, like, okay, so, I actually made a friend. There's this friend I made on Amino that was part of the Adida Life Amino. And I'm just gonna call her, I know her real name, but I'm gonna call her Delta. We'll call her Delta. Just for, privacy purposes. And of course, like, it doesn't just affect me. She had a few people who were affected by this too, but I kind of would like to talk about it now while I'm here. So I met this girl who actually lived in Germany. And she was a good friend of mine in Data Life Amino. During that time, the Data Life Amino, like, a lot of people just didn't seem to care that I even existed, so a lot of people just ignored me. Well, one day she sees that, you know, I'm lonely. My friend Skylar, a girl who I've been talking with, Skylar, was not on. Actually, no, I'm not going to use her real name. We're going to change that name. Forget you heard Skylar. We'll call her Scotty from now on. We're calling her Scotty from now on. Like the Norse god, Scotty. Because let's be honest, she is kind of like a goddess anyway. So anyway, but Delta, but yeah, like Scotty was gone, I was kind of on my own, and then I met this guy, and then I met this girl, then I met Delta, and like me and her got off to a really good start, and she was happy to have me as her friend. She wasn't just happy to have me, she was enthralled, like I wanted to be friends with someone I just met, and just like, had no qualms with it, and she was like really fun to be around and stuff. And yeah, it was nice. I'm not gonna tell you but unfortunately at the time I didn't know she was sick. When I mean sick, I mean like really sick. I'm not gonna tell you what it was. Again, personal information. I just want to keep it a buck and like not share all the major details. Like I'm only telling the story because like I do miss her and I just started thinking about her. So I became friends with her and we got off to a good start. And she was really sweet. And she introduced me to her boyfriend that she had in real life and on amino. We're gonna call him Zafi. Zafi, yes, we're calling him Zafi. I hope he doesn't mind. if he watches this, like, bro, if you watch this, I just want you to know I'm not doing this for clout or anything. I just miss her and decided. I just started thinking about her and decided, you know, I'd share this story. After this, I think I'll actually build something to remind Zafi and the others, like, you know, about the home that they gave me, and their amino, which is dedicated to the dead-life character Kurumi Tokisaki, because, you know, they all loved Kurumi. And to be honest, I actually kind of liked Kurumi too. Like, she is my second favorite person in the character. Like, Miku was before her originally, but once when I got to learn more about Kurumi, I just like... I think that's why I actually took such a big interest in searching Kurumi, anything related to Kurumi Tokisaki and Data Live is just like because of them. So yeah, Zafi and I also became friends, and it was just like really awesome. I met Zafi in a roleplay chat. I met his girlfriend in just a chill chat where everyone talked, and it was fun having them there. And of course, they had this other girl with them named Z. I'm calling Z, who was kind of like their daughter in a way. Not really, but you know, in RP they called her her daughter, and she was a nice girl. She was actually picked on a lot in the Data Live amino. I actually kind of knew that because of what I seen. Not everyone liked Z for who she was. We'll go stand in here as I tell this story. So yeah, after like meeting them and joining their thing of Kurumi Tokisaki, thing dedicated to Kurumi Tokisaki, I loved it. I loved it all. And it was just amazing to like see how much they loved each other and how much they cared about each other, and they didn't care if there were not very many people in there. They just enjoyed being around each other. So I joined them. We had our RP session, and I was enjoying it. They even actually broke me out of my shell from the shy guy too. You know, the guy that was really in need of a friend. So I spent time with them a lot, and a few days later, she finally tells us, Delta finally tells us as I said, she was sick, like really sick, that it actually got worse. And the reason why she had not been on for the past couple of weeks or so was because she was in the hospital. Unfortunately, she passed away the following week of August. And it was during August when this happened. And I was just devastated. Like, I had been more depressed than I had ever been. Like, even my girlfriend at the time was just like, she could tell I was just not me, and I told her that I didn't tell her the name of my friend's gender, but I told her, like, you know, a friend of mine passed away recently, and she was actually sympathetic for once, rather than accusing me of something. Again, I'll talk about White Queen in another video, but Delta had passed away after announcing how bad the sickness she had gotten, and yeah, it was. I wasn't as devastated as the people who knew her better, but I was still pretty devastated. Zafi understood that I felt the same way he did, just like, you know, she was my friend. I may not have known her as long, but I knew how he felt. And he knew I knew how he felt, and I just wanted him to know, like, dude, I'm here for you. I'm going to be here for you always. Like, even when I'm not around, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to just say hi. I'm going to let you know, like, hey, I care. I want to be here for all of you. So I stayed with them for a while, and we all mourned the loss. And after that, things really changed for me. I had actually started to notice more people who had been manipulating me, and I figured out that White Queen was also pulling strings on me that I didn't even know I had, like it says in a different video. Anyway, that's about all I am going to say for now. If you want more story times and everything, just like hit the like button, comment, subscribe, and if you have stories, I'll probably link my Twitter in the description for my YouTube channel. Just DM me them in that one. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh. Right, I had to pause this thing. Again, bye guys.